Okay, so we are here. This is a very special We Champion series that we are doing with Mission 4.7. I'm Radhika Iyengar. I'm at the Center for Sustainable Development. So glad to be here. And Amanda and I are hosting this Mission 4.7 We Champion series, where we invite really the champions in the field of education for sustainable development, share practices, hear from the experience, and we get to ask them questions to further our practice. So it's great that we have these sessions going on. Please join us. Every month we have a special session with different experts, coming up with different expertise. So it will be great to have you as a continued discussion group, if we can, for every month. Handing over to Amanda, who has been spearheading the Global Schools project and taking on this education for sustainable development mission globally. Amanda, over to you.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I think I know mostly everyone on this call. So thank you so much for joining us in this very special session. We're so happy to feature Marcela, and I will introduce her. She has a wonderful bio. You know her, but she's done so many amazing things. So she is an Oh, there you are. I lost you on my screen for a second, but so I will go ahead and introduce you. So she is a qualified English teacher and a passionate lifelong learner, and she holds so many diplomas and degrees. She has a diploma in school management, in neuroscience, in leadership, in socio-emotional learning, in education technology, global citizenship, and environmental education. So you are all with an expert here. She has worked in the field for a few decades, and she also works with students, preparing them for different examinations, the Cambridge examinations. And right now in Buenos Aires in Argentina, she teaches environmental sciences and global perspectives in a bilingual school. And she also trains teachers. So you're with a great expert here for all the teachers that are on the call. She's also a Teach SDGs ambassador and a global schools advocate, and that's where I had the privilege to meet her. So Marcela, I'll turn it over to you to share your presentation, and at the end I'll probably ask you a question and then open it up to the audience if there's one audience question as well. So
thank you, Amanda. And I've got just some slides just to guide my talk, but in fact I want to tell you all about my work with the SDGs, right? And that is what we are going to concentrate on. So to begin with, as Amanda has just said, this is me, Marcela Alejandra Villán. I'm a qualified teacher of English here in Argentina. And I have been a teacher of English for more than 30 years in a classroom. I'm 52 years old already, and I got graduated when I was 26. I started working with at schools much earlier than that. Okay, so I mean, I've been working for a long time already, from Argentina, here in Buenos Aires, Argentina, always in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I live quite near the capital city. And my agenda today, then, it will be to tell you about my journey to the SDGs and with the SDGs. My dear Sustainable Development Goals. Well, I don't know if you know me already. This is my banner on LinkedIn, which, let's say, summarizes a little bit everything that I have been doing so far. Then we will go back to this. As Amanda has just told you, I'm a qualified teacher of English. I have been that since 1996 here in Argentina. I'm also TESOL certified, and I've got several diplomas, right? The most important for me are the ones connected with environmental education and global citizenship, which is what I really love doing, what I really love teaching. And it all started like this. Before the year 2000, that is to say by the year 2000, I had already worked with all levels, and I have already taught all ages. I had also taught in company. I had taught in private schools, in public schools here in my country. I had taught privately, and I had always taught language, basically. That is to say, the basic teaching of English. In the year 2004, I started work in another school near my area, not the one I was working on or I had been working on so far. and a bilingual school, the one I'm still working at. And I was offered to teach a subject called Earth Science. At that moment, everything was quite new for me, right? And I started, let's say, getting connected with the subject, with everything that was connected with, let's say, the Earth and the problems that, the issues that we are having nowadays. Everything was just started to come out, because I mean, more and more people started talking about the problems of the atmosphere, global warming, and this and that. And so Earth science was becoming a very important point for everyone. Then later, I started working with another subject, which is called Global Perspectives, because I prepare my students for the Cambridge examinations, the IGCSE examinations, International General Certificate of Secondary Education. I work with the last years of the secondary schools. My students are all between 15 and 18 years old. They are finishing their secondary school here in Argentina, ready to start university. And I had always found it till this moment when I started working with earth science, that then became and got to be called environmental management and global perspectives. I have always found it quite difficult to, let's say, make them get engaged in my lessons. If they liked English, everything was simple. But if they didn't, it was a bit complicated. And I imagine that that is the story for most teachers of English. But when I started working with environmental education, and when I started working with global perspectives, everything changed. By the year 2015, in my classes, I had already been working with the Millennium Goals, right? And I had been teaching my students about the Millennium Goals, and we had started some investigations on the topic, and everyone was getting interested. And then after the year 2015, we got connected with our dear Sustainable Development Goals created by the United Nations at that time. And so my classes started to take another color, as I say, because I mean, my students started getting more and more and more interested in this topic. My students started getting to know more and more interested in what they could do to help the world. And that's how, as a teacher, I started saying, well, I need to do something. I must do something, right? Yeah, in connection with this. And so we started working with project-based learning. And how is it that I do this? I started working this way in the year 2016, more or less, and I'm still working this way. My students really enjoy the lessons very much. My students get really very interested in what we are doing in our classes, and it really works wonderfully for me. According to the PBL framework, what we do is this. First, we connect, we pay attention to the Sustainable Development Goals, we choose the topic they are interested in. I divide them into groups, and each group chooses a different Sustainable Development Goal that they are going to work with. Maybe they choose climate action, because I mean, it's connected with environmental management. Maybe they choose life on land. Maybe they choose life below water. You know that all our SDGs are really interconnected. So by working on one of them, they may be working on all others at the same time. Most of them choose energy. That is a sustainable development goal that I mean, my students love. The question of clean energies for the future. Sustainable cities, right? Sustainable goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. Lots of them also go for poverty and zero hunger, which in my country, it's a very serious problem. They also go to sustainable goal number 12, the question of, for example, responsible production and consumption. And once they have defined the goal they want to work with, what they do is to frame a question. That is to say, what do they want their project to lead them to? And so, for example, maybe if they are working with poverty, the question could be how important or how, let's say, big is poverty around the world? And so there will be a serious investigation on the topic. Clean water and sanitation, what can we do to improve water and sanitation? Always the question they frame is going to be a WH question, because a WH question will let them, let's say, look for more information. They will guide them to get into more and more information. After that, they start a great investigation on global perspectives in connection with the issue, national perspectives, and also local perspectives. After that, they just give me their personal opinion and what they think that can be done to solve the issue or to help to this issue. That is to say, we try to go to the courses of action. And when they go to the courses of action, they just think of the solution. They think of a solution they can give to the topic in our country. Because I always think that by working locally, we are helping the world globally. That is to say, the sum of small actions will lead us to a very big change. And that's how I work with them. That is to say, they look for solutions that they can implement in our local area. For example, one of my students, a group of these students, some classes ago, talking about clean water and sanitation, they decided that they are going to collect bottles of mineral water, and they are going to take these bottles to places in need of clean water. In our area, we have some places that we can help, of course, nearby. After that, they are going to take the bottles and they are going to recycle those plastic bottles, right? So as to help the environment as well. In connection with poverty, for example, another group decided to collect at school to ask our students for some non-perishable food, and they are going to take those things that they have collected to places in need around my area. There are lots of lunch places, lunch rooms we call them, where they feed people, and I mean they are going to take all that to these places. Like this, I've got lots of projects that they have already worked on, and they are going to will be working on this year, and they really find all these excellent. First of all, I find that this is excellent for you to work with because you will be making your classes active. You will be working on active learning. Your students will love this. They will be learning in a different way. They will be learning vocabulary. They will be learning grammar. They will be learning lots of things in a different way. Before going into this, another thing is that I am also working on values because I'm creating empathy on them. When they look for the global perspectives and they get to know about lots of different, and they get to know, can you hear me correctly? Yeah, and they get to know about the different problems that we have around the world, and they start discovering the different realities. I am creating empathy on them, and they really like it very much. They also realize that some of the problems we face are not just local problems, of course, they are global problems. That's why we have the SDGs, our Sustainable Development Goals. And when they start working, thinking that they can help the world, that they can really help achieve these Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2030, they love it. And another very important thing that I do in my classes, and that's why here it says, let's go back to my banner, on Instagram, is that I get connected with classes around the world. I open my classroom's walls. That is to say, I break down my classroom's walls. And I say classrooms because I've got several. I don't work with only just one group. I've got 6 groups at school I work with. That makes a total of 30 students in each class, almost 200 students. And I am making all of them work in this way. And by breaking the classroom walls, what I mean is that I've already got connected with lots of organizations, with global teachers, global educators, right, that work in the same way. And I am really happy to see that every day we are more and more educators that try to work this way, opening the classroom's walls, getting connected with the world, making our students reach the others and see that they can be connected somehow. And I'm a Teach SDGs ambassador. I work for this organization. I get into the Climate Action Project and the Goals Project. I am a Climate Action Project facilitator. We work on Sustainable Development Goal number 13, 14, and 15. And we reach other students in the world, telling them about what things we do here in Argentina to take action towards global warming. What is it that we do? What is it that the world, the country is doing in connection with that? And we get to know what other countries are doing in connection with that as well. I'm also into Global Lighthouse Studio with Donna Gehring in the United States. She prepares lots of global projects. For example, nowadays we are doing one in connection with global goal, the one connected with sustainable cities, because we are dealing with sustainable cities. We want to see how our, let's say, Aborigines here in Latin America, for example, the Mayas, the Aztecs, the Incas, lived sustainably, and in what way we can do nowadays, we can do the same things to help to make our cities more sustainable. Well, I also work a lot with IIU, International Internship University, delivering talks on how to work with the SDGs and opening teachers' eyes towards this work with the SDGs. Well, I am also into Global Teachers Club, which is run by one of our global schools advocates, Ms. Gonca Geskin in Turkey. Gonca is doing a great job together with Azura in Malaysia, and also another teacher from Philippines. They are connecting teachers around the world to, let's say, work together and, let's say, learn together about what's happening around the world. And last year, I had the big opportunity of leading an SDGs project here in the Global Teachers Club. Like 14 teachers from different parts of the world, we got together, we implemented this PBL system in our classes, and we worked on different sustainable development goals. And then we had a big meeting on Zoom, a Zoom meeting in which our students, let's say, talked about what they had learned through all the journey. Then I'm also a T4 country ambassador, and T4 also works getting teachers around the world together, trying to help sustainable goal number 4, education, quality education, and we're all working along the same line. I also run my own Instagram account, 21st Century Tools, where I always talk about, in which I always talk about how to work improving our classes with the Sustainable Development Goals framework. And let me see this. That's why I wanted to go back to our banner, right? As I said, as I have just told you, I have opened my classroom's walls, and I have opened myself also to the world by delivering lots of talks around the world. Yeah, I've also got connected with some of my global schools advocates, right? Last year, when I had the possibility of entering the Global Schools Advocate Program, I got connected with teachers that are really marvelous, and we have exchanged ideas, we have exchanged views on how to work with our sustainable development goals, much more than what I have been doing so far. I've also got connected with Stella and with Stefania from Italy, and I've done some projects with them. I really loved them. I've also got connected with Gonca Keskin, as I have just told you, well, with our dear Akash Patel, and I work with him a lot through his this Happy World Foundation. He has come to my classes and he has been with my students, and I have been to his classes, and it has really been wonderful to show other students in the world and to show other classes how we are living and what we are doing around the world. I think that that is one of the big legacies that we can leave to our students. The question that they have to open their eyes to what's happening around the world, to see how they can help, to see how they can give a hand. So as I told you, I've been connected with almost all the world, really, because I've got friends everywhere. India, I've got lots of teachers with India. I've also got connected with Art Academy, which is an editorial that is preparing wonderful work on the SDGs, some booklets which are really exceptional to take to your classes. And in India, I've got my other advocate friend, Bhavna Matthew, with whom I have worked a lot and who I really love. And we started a project with Patricia, who's here. We have to finish it someday in Spanish, right? Talking about our sustainable development goals. And I really now, Farouk, who is here also in our meeting, is going to come to my classes to show my students how the Muslim world, what the Muslim world believes in. And this question of working and getting connected and making our students see the different realities is really impressive. You will, it's very enriching. Your students really love this. Will love this if you do it. And the most important thing is that I always feel that I am really working towards SDG number 4. I am providing quality education towards my students. I have been following the Global Schools Advocates Program plans and ideas towards the SDGs, and I have been improving my classes more and more each day. Amanda and my mentors from the Global Schools Program have helped me a lot in this process, in this journey, and I really feel that I am working towards sustainable goal number 4 and target 4.7, which says that by the year 2030, we have to ensure that all learners acquire knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles, human rights, gender equality, promotion of a culture of peace and nonviolence, global citizenship, and an appreciation of cultural diversity and of culture's contribution to sustainable development. So I really do hope that every day more and more teachers get into this, and that by the year 2030, we can say we did it. Because from my point of view, once an advocate, always an advocate. So here I am to continue helping the SDGs every day.
Thank you so much, Marcela. That was absolutely wonderful. I have to put my applause here on my screen. What you showed us was great. The project-based learning model, everything that you're involved in, and all of the collaborations you've been able to facilitate and have your students take advantage of is really admirable. Since we have just a few minutes left, Marcela, did you say you had a video or anything else to share? Or
yeah, this video, in fact, it's not connected with the SDGs. It's just a message, right? I don't know if we have time or you prefer questions, because the message is, it's a video called I Will Be a Hummingbird. It's a tale. I don't know if you already know it. If you want, I can show it to you.
Yes. Are there any questions? First of all, does anyone have a question for Marcela?
Here's my friend Estela, who I have just mentioned, right? And also Purvi Parekh, I also know her, right? Wonderful. I've got all my friends here. Hello, friends.
Hello. It's always fantastic to see you.
Well, always fantastic.
Hopefully we'll meet one day all together. That would be great. Yeah,
we should.
I really enjoy the connection. We dealt with the climate action last October, November, and my students really enjoyed the connection, and they learned a lot from Marcela students. That was great. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Estela. It was great.
I see we have a question from Akwayemi Claude. I hope I'm saying your name right, but please, if you want to unmute and ask your question.
No problem. You did say my name right. And hello, everyone. I'm an activist from England, UK, and I'm also was going to ask, what would your 3 words of wisdom be for the next generation, especially the ones that are in this challenging time of education where it's not being delivered at the moment?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What would your 3 words of wisdom be within these challenging times with education not being delivered?
I understand the question, Amanda.
Yeah, I'll just repeat it since there's a little bit of background noise, if you don't mind. So what would your 3 words of wisdom be, given the challenges of education not being delivered?
The 3 words that I think that we have to give to education, or we have to connect with education for the future, you mean? Yeah, well, first of all,
Yes.
as I told you, we have to be active, right? That is to say, helping teachers have to be active, helping our students to open their eyes towards the issues that affect our world. Then I think that another very important word that has to be connected with education is value, because I mean, we need to work on values, right? Creating all sorts of values, tolerance, empathy, responsibility, lots of different values that will help our world. And another very big question that I think has a big word that has to be connected with education is environment. I do believe that we need to teach our students about the environment. We need to teach students environmental education, because that is the world that we are, the way that we are going to help our world. Our world needs us because our world is suffering, and that is the only home we have, our world. So if we help our world, we will be helping all the other sustainable development goals to become true. Because I mean, if we don't help the world and our world continues, let's say, suffering in the way it is, we won't be able to see much in 2030, right? So we won't be able to reach our sustainable development goals, and it will be a serious problem. So first of all, environmental education, right? To be able to work on all the other issues that we need to.
I think that was a wonderful answer.
No, thank you.
And thank you so much for the question.
That's why I'm an environmental educator, because I do believe that what we need to do is to take care of our planet Earth, which is our home, which is the home of all of us, right? In different ways, because maybe we live in different places, in different realities, but it's the only home we have. And we know that global warming, it's not just a local issue, it's an issue that it's affecting all the world. And also the question of the ozone layer and acid rain and all the big problems that are affecting our atmosphere. So we need to help the world in this way, because if we help that issue, all the other issues are going to get solved. Yeah, it's like a chain of events, right? If we help sustainable goal number 13, we will be working on number 14 and 15 immediately, and we will be working on number 6, and we will be working on number 7, and we will be working on number 12. Lots of the other issues, right? All the other goals will be, let's say, connected with this one. I do believe that number 13, not the most important one. I think that they are all important at the same level, but it's the first one we have to tackle immediately.
Thank you so much. We are almost at the end of our time here. So Helen, if you want to ask your question briefly to Marcela, and you'll have the last question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, so thank you so much. I was so happy when she was giving her presentation. In fact, I was connecting with her message, with her story, because recently I decided to take my teaching outside the classroom. Like she said, she opened her classroom walls. So I felt so happy. For instance, today I was opportune to join the UNESCO program today, right? So I also share this my experience with also an advocate who's also in this program, and I discovered that the joy I felt from my students' reaction today in the classroom was something else. And so I discovered that the teachers don't even know how to teach climate education to the students. And so I connected with her story, and I felt that, okay, we need to take the students out of the classroom by connecting them to the global speakers, let them know about what is happening, join the programs and learn from leaders. And so hearing her story today, I feel motivated that, okay, yes, I have actually taken the right step. And I believe that is the best way to get our students know about these issues. I'm so happy for what she shared today. In fact, I love everything. And I think I will have to adopt it, her method in my classroom henceforth. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful comment. We are going to be sharing this recording. Radhika will share it on her YouTube channel, and I believe she shared the link in the chat earlier, but we'll also send it out so you can reference the graphics that Marcela shared. And if anyone else is interested in participating in the We Champion series, they can also email me and Radhika. I shared her email with quite a few of the people in this group as well.
Amanda, do we have 2 more minutes to see that video that I have?
Yes, I was going to say if we could end with the video, I think that would be fabulous.
Yeah, really, because it has a wonderful message that will really reach all of us. You will see. Let me show it to you. I want you to pay attention. Wait, I have to stop sharing this because I have to go to, okay, now yes. Let me see. Pay attention to the message, which is really great. The first time that I just saw this video, right, I said, wow, what a message. So let's see if I can share sound. Share sound here. So let's see.
We are constantly being bombarded by problems that we face, and sometimes we can get completely overwhelmed. The story of the hummingbird is about this huge forest being consumed by a fire. All the animals in the forest come out, and they are transfixed as they watch the forest burning, and they feel very overwhelmed, very powerless, except this little hummingbird. It says, I'm going to do something about the fire. So it flies to the nearest stream, takes a drop of water, and it puts it on the fire and goes up and down, up and down, up and down, as fast as it can. In the meantime, all the other animals, much bigger animals, like the elephant with a big trunk, could bring much more water. They are standing there helpless, and they are saying to the hummingbird, what do you think you can do? You're too little. This fire is too big. Your wings are too little. And you're big, so small. You can only bring a small drop of water at a time. But as they continue to discourage it, it turns to them without wasting any time and tells them, I am doing the best I can. And that, to me, is what all of us should do. We should always feel like a hummingbird. I may feel insignificant, but I certainly don't want to be like the animals watching as the planet goes down the drain. I will be a hummingbird. I will do the best I can.
So as the video was just saying, we have to do the best we can, because I do think that we have different realities. We live in different places. We all have different ways of living. But I mean, there is only one reality, which is to open our students' eyes towards the future, trying to make them take action towards these sustainable development goals and try to reach the sustainable goals by the year 2030. So if we all do it together, if we all do the best we can, I am sure that we are going to reach that aim, and that we are all going to be very happy when the year 2030 comes and we say, well, We did it. Yeah, we did the best we could and we did it. Whatever your reality you are in, whatever reality you live in, because I know that it's not the same for everyone. But it will be nice if by the year 2030, we can get together, all together like this again, and we can say, wow, we have been able to do it. So thank you very much, really. Thank you all, right? I really loved this opportunity, Amanda, and I really hope that it is useful for other teachers.
Thank you so much. You said it beautifully. I have nothing else to add. Just want to ask you, Radhika, is there any other announcements for the group? And thank you for hosting the We Champion series for Mission 4.7.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Marcela. That was absolutely inspirational and fascinating. We will definitely share on our various networks. Amanda also shared the Mission 4.7 website and the contact email. So please feel free to share your ideas, stories there as well. And look forward to our next month. There will be other We Champion series that will be going on. I think the date is 11th May. So we can, I can share that. We share that link and other messages on the Mission 4.7 calendar events page. So please be maybe look at the events calendar, and then global schools as well as Center for Sustainable Development. We keep sharing all the information that we have from Mission 4.7, the events that we are organizing on our Twitter handle. So please feel free to subscribe to those Twitter handles as well as be connected. I hope we really form a community going. It was very inspirational to have all of you here with us today and take this message forward from Marcela to every classroom. I'm in New Jersey. I'll be definitely taking the story of the hummingbird as well as your message to all the teachers here. Very inspiring. And thanks, Amanda, for moderating the session today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
And with that, we come to the end of our session. So should we take a picture, Radhika?
Yeah.
Great.
If anyone is comfortable with turning on their camera for the picture or leaving it off, it's totally up to you. I will take it in 3, 2, 1.